Right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, dear students, and welcome to our science class. Who can tell me what is today? Today is?
Today is 29th of December.
Today is Wednesday. Good. And the date is 29 of December 2029. And we are studying about
2029.
Water.
excellent water. So we learned at start that water can be salt water and fresh water. Salt water as ocean and fresh water like lakes, rivers, and
Fresh water
streams.
is like the ice and the water that we drink.
Yes, we learned where we can find water also. Later, yesterday we were talking about the states of water. Water can be water vapor in the air, liquid water like the one we drink, or ice, solid. Today, we are going to talk more about water, how states of water can change from one to another. Do you think this is possible? Can water vapor change to liquid? Boys, can liquid water change to ice?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Are you sure? When it's
Yes.
too cold, what happened? Liquid water turned to what?
Liquid water, it will be ice.
Excellent, it will be solid. If it's too hot, what is going to happen to this ice?
It will be liquid water.
Excellent, ya Mendili. Now think about water vapor. Can water vapor can turn to liquid?
No, but it
you
was
sure?
liquid. But it was liquid.
Okay, if it was liquid, so definitely it can come back from water vapor to liquid again. This is what we are going to talk about today. So today, Habibi, we are going to learn about the change in states. So state of water can change. It can be different. It can turn from liquid to solid, from solid to liquid, from water vapor to liquid, from liquid to water vapor. All these are possible. Let's see how. Now I want you to take a look at this boy, what he's holding.
Water.
Okay. This water contains ice. There is ice in this cup of water. Now, when water vapor in the air touch the cold cup, okay, what happens? It loses heat and forms droplets of liquid water on the cup. Now, if you can bring a cup of ice, okay, and keep it in your room. Once you take it out of the freezer, what is going to happen around the cup? Around the cup, you will see what? Droplets of water. Why?
Droplets.
Yes. Why these droplets are here? They are from the outside because the water vapor is very, let's say, it's cool, not cold, not heated. But when it touches the cup, when the cup is very cold, the water vapor changes to liquid. This is how we got the droplets. So we can make it easier. When something hot meets something cold, they touch together, they make droplets or water vapor turn to liquid, and we call this condensation. So this is a new word for today. Our new word is condensation. Who can tell me what is the page number? حبايبي. Page number what?
It is page number 200 and 98.
296.
94.
290.
Until
196.
Are you sure it's 96?
no, I mean
296.
لا.
4.
It's 295.
295.
Miss,
which page?
It's 294.
Miss, the page is until 226. Not 26, 96.
Okay. Okay.
Miss, I don't
When you
finish,
are in the shower, I want you to think about the mirror, okay? When you go inside the shower, the mirror is cold. Is that right? When you turn up the heat of the water, what happens to the mirror? I think
The
you can
mirror
draw. Have you ever drawn on the mirror in the bathroom?
No.
yeah.
Really?
When I
You
saw
draw with the water. Okay, what happens there? It
I
condenses.
see smoke. I feel like smoking.
Smoking, okay, this is water vapor. We call it steam. This steam is water vapor. When this water vapor is hot touches the cold mirror, what happened? Droplets are over the mirror. You can see droplets of water. So what happened over here? The water vapor was heated. When it's heated, sorry, it's not heated. When it's hot and it touches the cold surface, what happened? Droplets are there.
It loses heat.
Yes, when it loses heat, it turns to liquid. When the water vapor loses the heat, it turns to liquid. So when it touches the surface that is very cold, the water vapor that comes out of the shower, it will turn to liquid, and you can see it with your own eye. I want you to try it at home today. You can have a cup of ice, full of ice.
I don't have ice.
You don't have ice in your home?
No. Me too, I don't have ice. I have ice.
Okay, don't do that. Okay, you can go to the mirror right now. You can go to the mirror. Do you know how to blow in the mirror? Hold your hands and blow to the mirror. Say,
okay.
What happens? You will see some droplets on the mirror. If you touch it, you will feel that they are liquid. How? From where? Because the breath that comes out of you is hot and the mirror is cold. When hot meets cold, the water vapor loses the heat and turns to liquid. This process, we call it condensation. What do we call it?
Condensation.
Yes, condensation. Say it again.
Condensation.
Okay, so condensation is when water vapor turns to what? Turns to liquid. So when I ask you, can water vapor turns to liquid? What are you going to say? Yes. How?
Yeah.
By condensation. By what?
By condensation.
Miss, you put vapor E.
Yeah, without E. It's without E. Thank you, Riyad. Okay. Water vapor turns to liquid with condensation. Why? Because The water vapor loses the heat. When it loses the heat, it will turn to liquid. When the water vapor loses the heat, it turns to what? Liquid. All right, حبايبي. All right. There is another thing. Let's see. Another thing. Take a look at the footprints over here. When the boy got out of the pool, he had his footprint on where? On the floor. But shortly, this footprint will disappear. How?
Because it will loses the heat, and then it will be water vapor.
Excellent. It will not loses the heat, ya Muhammad. It will do something else because of the heat. Huh? When it's heated up more.
Because it's the sun. The sun.
Yes, because of the sun. When the sun gives the heat to the water, what happened to the liquid water? It turns to what?
It turns hot.
Floor.
Yes. Okay. What do we call this process? We call this process evaporation. We call it what? Evaporation. Evaporation. Now again, evaporation can happen when you put water in the kettle and you turn on the heat. When you turn on the heat, the water boils. When the water boils a lot, what comes out of the water?
Miss, when I was showering yesterday, the hot water was boiling.
Okay, after boiling, what goes up out of the water?
What's called?
Miss, also me when I was showering yesterday and I put the hot water, the mirror now is turning not clear.
Okay, when it's not clear, when it turns to not clear, if you try to touch the mirror, you will see that it has droplets, liquid water. Now, Iyad, can you tell me what happens when the water vapor evaporates? What comes out of the water?
Miss, I go to
Iyad. When you
showering, I saw my mirror, so I was gonna blow on it. Then I did. There was droplets.
Yes, yeah, Faris. Okay. Yeah, no, not condensation, Habibi. Condensation, we're done. Khalas, we're done. Now take a look at the footprint, everyone. Everyone, Habibi, I want you to look at the footprint. When the sun hits the footprint very high, it will disappear. Why? Because all the droplets will turn to what? Liquid water turns to water vapor. How? When we added heat. So when we add heat, what happens? Let me put plus. Add heat. Heat from the sun.
Liquid.
So it's not liquid, sorry, it's liquid. Liquid water. Over here, footprints are liquid water, is that right? The one on the floor, they are what? Liquid. When liquid is heated by the sun, when you add heat by the sun, what happens to this liquid water? It will go all over the air. It will be in the air. It will turn to water vapor. Okay, the same example. I'm going to give you the same, the same thing, evaporation, but example, when you heat the water in the kettle, the water boils. What comes out of the kettle? Steam. Have you ever seen steam or smoke coming out of the kettle?
I think Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know why? Because all the water evaporates. All the water evaporate. Evaporate meaning, ya Khalid, that it turns to water vapor. It turns to water vapor. It turns to steam. Why? Because I'm adding so much heat to it. When you add
Miss, okay, I want to tell you something.
No, ya Khalid. I want you to listen to me. When
okay,
you add...
but we write this.
What happens, ya Khalid?
Okay, we write this.
No, ya mama, you don't write this. I want you to listen to this, understand. If you understand, we will write it tomorrow in a piece of paper. Now I want you to tell me.
I understand.
Very good, Muhammad. I want to ask Khalid, can I?
Okay.
Khalid, Habibi, when you add heat to liquid water, you add so much heat to liquid water, what happens to this water?
The water will be like
yeah,
is very hot and
okay, yes, very hot, and it will go away. Do you know why? Because this is evaporation. It will turn to steam. It will turn to water vapor. I want to show you a video about it, definitely. Okay, but I want you to think about your mom cooking. When your mom is cooking, doing something in the pot, she adds water. When she adds water,
and then when she finish cooking, then put the food will have smoke.
Okay,
yeah.
Water
because
vapor.
it is so hot.
Okay, this smoke is water vapor. We don't call it smoke, we call it water vapor. And this process is evaporation. So what is the name of the process?
Miss, I understand.
The word water vapor. When liquid turns to water vapor, what do we call it? Evaporation. And you add up heat. You need to add up heat. What do you need to add? Heat. Yes, heat. So condensation is the opposite. When the water vapor loses the heat, it turns to liquid. But when it's increased the heat, it turns to water vapor.
It turns to water vapor.
Yes. Now, take a look at this one over here. Water vapor has turned to liquid. Why? After a cool night, you may wake up to find water droplets called dew covering the grass. This is dew, okay? These small droplets on the grass, we call it dew, all right? This happens when water vapor in the air that is directly above the cool ground forms water droplets on the grass.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me, what do we call this process? Hi, Muhammad.
Miss the rain when it is raining, it is not rain, but it is the water vapor.
Okay, water vapor are joined together. When they lose heat, what happens to them? They go down. It will turn to rain, turn to liquid. When the clouds are too huge, too big, and they lose heat,
it will
turn to liquid. Okay, now here, Muhammad, focus here on the grass. How does this happen? With evaporation or condensation? It loses the heat and it turned from water vapor to liquid.
Condensation.
Excellent. Yes, this is condensation. Let's write condensation so we can see the video quickly and come back to the lesson. We are going to come back to the lesson.
Miss, I have some.
Please write it quickly so we can watch the video and come back to the lesson.
Miss, write it quickly because we have it on number 1.
Yes, you have it in the other page, but I want you to write it now. Yalla, habayb.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it.
Miss, I love science.
I want when I want to be science or a doctor.
Ah, scientist. You want to be scientist?
Miss,
Yeah.
I love
Or doctor.
Miss, my favorite
I finish.
science. My
Miss.
favorite science.
All right, finish. Very good.
Yeah.
Now we still have time. So let's watch the video and come back to recording. We're not going to say bye-bye today. We're going to say pause and we'll be back. Yeah.
Pause recording.
Pause recording.
All right, so after watching the video, you saw when the boy put some cover above the steam that comes out of the boiling water, what happens to the cover? It turns all to liquid. Why? Because the cover is cool. It's cold and not hot as the pot or as the water vapor. So when the water vapor loses the heat, what happens to it? Just to liquid and become.
It will be liquid.
Yes, and this is condensation. So 2 words to learn today. Open to page 294. Let's underline together. Let's underline together.
You didn't record.
Yes, we are recording, ya Habib. You can see we are recording. Now, underline with me. What does it mean, evaporation? We'll read.
Means when something dries.
No. I want someone to read.
When something is.
Faris, can you read, ya Faris? Evaporation.
When they
is the change here. Is the change
in the change back to liquid water, the change of state from a gas to a liquid is called condensation. Condensation and evaporation are opposite processes.
Okay, thank you, Faris. So when liquid water gains enough of heat, it evaporates to become water vapor. What do we call it? Evaporation. So evaporation is the change of states from liquid to gas. Now the second one is when water vapor loses enough of heat, it changes back to liquid water. The change of state from gas to liquid, what do we call it? Condensation. Condensation and evaporation, are they opposite process or not?
Yes.
Yes, they are opposite. Why? Because one of them will lose the heat and will turn to the another. Okay? And you can go backwards. I can do it. I can make it easier for you. Now,
you can make, Miss, you can make it hot and then you can make it cold.
Okay. If you adding heat, it will evaporate. And if you are taking away the heat, it will condensate. Okay? So if you are adding heat, what is going to happen to the liquid water? It will evaporate. And if you are taking away the heat from the water vapor, you can bring it back to liquid by condensation. Okay, what about the Khalid, ice cubes? When you take away heat from ice cubes, what happened to them? They turn to liquid, is that right?
Yeah.
What do we call this process? When your ice cream turns to liquid, what do we call this process?
Evaporation.
This one, I don't know.
No.
Condensation.
No. Not this one. New. Something new. When your ice cream is solid, turns to liquid, what happens?
It is condensation.
لا يا حبيبي, because condensation, the water vapor turns to liquid.
Evaporation.
No, not this one. Something new, not here. You can't find it here in the screen. You can't find it in the screen. I'm telling you, if you are holding your ice cream is solid. Is that right?
Ice.
Okay, your ice cream is solid.
Heat plus sun.
When your ice cream is solid, it can turn to liquid when it's hot. What happens to it? Melting. Excellent, ya Muhammad. So melting. When your solid turns to liquid, this is melting. Okay, what about when you put some water in the freezer? What happened? It turns to?
It will be cold.
It's to ice.
Okay, is it melting? What is the opposite of melting?
Melting.
The opposite of melting is?
Condensation.
No, not here, ya habibi, not here. Huh? The opposite of melting.
Liquid state.
When you put it in the freezer, if it's not melting, it will be
Frozen.
Very good. So water liquid can turn to ice by freezing because you took away the heat. But when it is so much heated, it will melt. It will turn to liquid. Okay? This is that we already know from before. Melting and freezing. Today you learned with me evaporation and condensation. Okay, Habibi, I can't move on because time is up, but we are going definitely to continue this tomorrow and repeat. We are going to repeat. So what I would like you to do, you can go through videos today, watch more videos about condensation, evaporation, and we can revise together tomorrow until you understand it fully. Okay? Okay, Habibi?
Okay.
So, best of luck, Habibi. See you, inshallah, tomorrow in our class. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Let's just join 9.
Miss, today, I mean tomorrow.